Now, the faith of billions, these incompatible claims about the divine origin of certain books, this faith has divided our world, has balkanized our world into separate moral communities: Christians, Muslims, Jews, Hindus. This is a problem. These are divisions in the human community over which conflict is inevitably happening. Either you believe Jesus was the Son of God, or you don't. If you do, if you believe that there's no path to the Father but through the Son, it is impossible, logically impossible, emotionally impossible, for you to really respect the beliefs of Muslims and Jews. Those beliefs lead to damnation. When the stakes are this high, when calling God by the right name can make the difference between eternal happiness and eternal suffering, it is impossible to respect the beliefs of others who don't believe as you do. So this is why the heretic is actually far more dangerous than the child molester. I mean, the heretic next door, if he articulates his heresy, stands a chance of damning the souls of your children for all time. If you really believe this stuff, if you really believe that a certain book was written by God, it becomes quite reasonable to treat heretics very badly. I mean, what do we do to child molesters? We lock them up. What did we do to heretics for centuries? We burned them alive. This was reasonable, given what we believed. The patriarchs of the Western tradition, the great men still taught to all college freshmen, St. Thomas Aquinas, St. Augustine. In Aquinas' case, he thought heretics should be killed. Augustine thought they should be tortured. Augustine's argument for the torture of heretics inspired the Inquisition. Now you may say, we don't torture heretics anymore. But we have secularism to thank for that. We have centuries of secular dialogue, secular politics, and scientific insight. We now know that when the crops fail, it wasn't because a jealous neighbor cast a spell. We know that epileptics are not possessed by demons. We know this by virtue of science. So centuries of secular conversation have essentially edited our faith, and even the faith of fundamentalists in the West. But the same is not true at the moment in the Muslim world. Specifically, the crime of apostasy, the disavowal of your religion, this is still punishable by death everywhere under Islam. Now, how often that sanction is carried out changes from country to country, but the fundamental problem here is that it is a normative conception under Islam that the disavowal of the Quran, the disavowal of your religion as a Muslim, is punishable by death. You never hear moderate Muslims saying it isn't. Not even Cat Stevens, an ex-hippie rock star, can tell you that it isn't. This is why scarcely a sensible sound in defense of Salman Rushdie emerged from the Muslim world in the aftermath of Khomeini's fatwa. So let's get our bearings here domestically. What do our neighbors believe? What do many people in this room very likely believe? Well, 22% of Americans claim to be certain that Jesus is going to return to earth sometime in the next 50 years. Another 22% believe he probably will do so. This is 44% of the electorate. This is 150 million people in our country. 150 million people believe that a historical figure, who incidentally was crucified 2,000 years ago, is going to come out of the sky like a superhero and wield his magic powers over the face of the earth, kill all the bad people, and save the day sometime in the next 50 years. Now, this belief, of course, entails other beliefs. It's no accident that 44% of Americans also believe that we were created from dust sometime in the last 10,000 years with no genetic precursors. 44% of Americans want us to stop teaching our children about the biological fact of evolution. 62% actually want us to teach creationism in schools, but 44% want only creationism. "44% of Americans also believe that the creator of the universe literally gave the land of Israel to the Jews. This is God as an omniscient real estate broker. So, one thing I argue in my book is that we are building a civilization of ignorance. And it's not just that we're in danger of losing our technological edge to China, or that medical research may be impeded, although those things undoubtedly are happening. Beliefs of this sort have geopolitical consequences. 44% of Americans, if they turned on their television tomorrow morning and saw that a mushroom cloud had replaced Jerusalem or New York, would see a silver lining in that cloud, because that cloud would be a portent that the best thing that is ever going to happen is about to happen: the return of Christ. And this is not, these people not only elect our congressmen and our presidents, they get elected as our congressmen and presidents. We are not talking about the fringes of society. We are quite literally talking about the fringes of the Oval Office, if not its present occupant. So one thing I argue is that this should be terrifying to us.